Yo, what's up guys, Gaming Magic 13 here, and welcome back to the 100% walkthrough for LEGO Batman the video game. Today I'll be playing through the 5th and final mission of the Riddler's Revenge and picking up the superhero achievement along the way. At the moment, this is just breaking things for studs, nothing for me to explain here. As usual, break what I break. After moving up slightly, you'll encounter a group of Riddler goons and Riddler henchmen, but you've made it this far, so you should know how to deal with them by now. A lot of stuff I'm breaking is just for the sake of getting studs, but this in particular you need to break so you can rebuild these pieces into a sensor device. That's that. And then come over here to this chest-looking object and smash all the walls off. You'll know you've broken it completely when the metal bars inside start to jiggle. Once they start to jiggle, you can reconstruct those into the framework for the car sensor. So now we've got a car sensor, but we need a way to get the car in here. How do we do that? Well, flip this first lever down with Batman, switch to Robin, and then flip down the other level on the opposite side. That will lower these little cones, or whatever you want to call them, and then you can go over to this money van, hop inside, and drive it inside the sensor. As soon as the gates drop, beeline it out the gate and then turn left. I got lucky here because this time a henchman spawned on top of this wall. What happens here is 4 Riddler enemies, be it goons and henchmen, will spawn on these walls in these positions always. That was a little embarrassing. So by parking the truck in that back corner right there, it ensures that whatever enemy is standing there can't shoot me while I deal with everything else. And a lot of times the one that's standing next to the one that can't shoot us, that being the projectiles fire off of the money van, will either fall off or not spawn at all. That's not always, but a lot of the times that's the case, meaning you only have 2 main threats, and then you can go over to where the henchman or goon is and deal with him there. It's the most effective way to deal with that encounter is to park the money van in the corner and then jump on top of the wall to jump punch them in order to take them all out. Simple combat as always, you should know how to deal with them by now. Other than that, the rest of this is just me busting stuff up, but once you're ready to move on, head over to where the glowing pieces are, smash them apart, and then reconstruct them into a suit changing station. As Batman, equip the glide suit. Then stand on the elevator and switch to Robin. As Robin, he'll move over to the handle and push it around. This will allow Batman to move up to the top of the elevator. Then switch back to Batman and glide over this gap, being careful to turn right as you collect the last stud so that you don't hit these lasers. Once you land, use your batarang on this yellow and red sign up there, and that will disable the lasers entirely, allowing you to enter this small encaged area and pull the lever. Now that will allow Robin to cross over, but more importantly, it will allow us to get the money van over. So go back over to where you parked the money van previously, hop in it, and then drive across the gap, because now there's a bridge there allowing us to pass over. Try to smash the railings on the platform while you can. As soon as you pass through the gates, make a hard left turn and then splatter all of these enemies. Then switch to the other person, allowing them to mop up all of the enemies while they're sprawled on the ground. Another group of enemies will spawn in towards the right, but again, it's basic combat. If you made it this far, you should know how to deal with them. Once again, henchmen and goons. If you've gotten this far, you know how to deal with these guys. When you're ready to move on, drive over to where this money sign on the ground is to smash open this little building right here, and that will reveal a bunch of pieces for a Robin suit swapper. I just want to get a few extra studs here before reconstructing the pieces. When you're ready to reconstruct the pieces, reconstruct them into a Robin suit swapper, and Robin will equip the magnet suit. Magnet suit equipped, head over to this magnetic wall in the far left hand corner, and then pull this lever so that Batman can climb up as well. Then as Batman, hop to this back railing, then glide over to this railing on the right, collecting the studs along the way. Then just shimmy along the railings, collecting studs as you go. Once you collect the last gold stud, jump straight up without moving the control stick. You'll land perfectly on the next railing. Same thing here. Once you grab the last silver stud, jump straight up without touching the control stick, and you'll land on the next railing. Once you grab the blue stud, jump straight up and over the railing. Reconstruct these pieces into a zipline so that Robin can join you. When you're ready to proceed, break open these two objects and reassemble the pieces into another lever. Now you may have noticed that there are yellow, green, and red pieces scattered around this first area. We don't have an attract suit yet, but we will soon, so take note of these piles of yellow, green, and red spare Lego bricks, because we'll need them later. Anyway, while you flip one lever, your AI buddy will flip the other one. Position yourself on this gray platform right here, and hold a batarang ready as you climb the building. Once you come face to face with this red panel, break it open and enter. Two-Face is essentially a more dangerous version of a henchman, so charge him down so that he can't shoot at you and just punch him twice. He will evade into the goo because he is immune to toxicity, which means he cannot harm you anymore. Meanwhile, you can use this time to break open these pieces on the left and then reassemble the pieces into a Robin suit swapper. As Robin, change into the attract suit and then go back into the previous area. This will not halt your Two-Face progress whatsoever. Pick up all the pieces in this area, and while you can pick up enough in the main area that you're supposed to, it's much easier to pick up the pieces when there is no toxic goo for you to worry about, or anything else that might stand in your way. So I recommend you come back out here to pick up the pieces, because staying in there will be the exact same matter, only you'll be in a more dangerous area. When you're ready to head back up, the platform will automatically come down to you. I recommend you switch to Batman for this section so you can use his glide suit when necessary to cross long distances such as this. Robin will make it over no problem because he can also tumble since he doesn't have this glide suit strapped to his back. Anyway, once you make it over here, switch to Robin and then fuel all of his spare Lego pieces into this machine. Once it all comes back out, hop in the hovercraft, but don't follow the stud trail. Trust me on this one. Get just enough of the studs so that you can trigger Two-Face to hit the bottom stair, and once he hits the bottom stair, sneak in between these two platforms, grab the purple stud, and then go backwards through the stud trail. Now, why am I telling you to do this? Well, because Two-Face will tear your hovercraft to shreds. So it's much safer just to go backwards through the trail. As you can see, it's not taking him very long to rip through the hovercraft. Once you're ready, jump out of the hovercraft and glide over to this section. Then let Two-Face come to you, or charge him down if he's not following you. Hit him twice and he will retreat behind the gate. Now, it's important to note here that I already have enough studs for Superhero, but you'll notice that the achievement didn't pop up. Why is that? Well, because this is my second attempt at recording the gameplay for this walkthrough video, so it won't pop up twice in a row if I already have it. However, at this point, you should have enough to get it. If you don't worry, the final boss area has more than enough studs to make up for it. Reassemble all these pieces into ledges that you can hop across. It's random what enemies you'll get over there. Last time I did this, I got 2 henchmen and the rest were goons. This time I got the easiest one possible, which is a bunch of goons. They'll all go down in a few hits from the batarangs, so stand on this ledge and hit them all with the batarangs until they collapse. Move up the stairwell on the right, pull the lever, then glide across the gap and pull the second lever. This room can be incredibly tough unless you know what you're doing. Move into the left column right here and jump whenever these things are about to hit you. If they hit you like that, you'll lose all your studs. It doesn't affect me because I already have Superhero, but as you can see, it gets really annoying really quickly. So here's what you do. The second it's across the back line of whatever square you're about to jump onto, jump while moving forward. You'll dodge it every single time. When moving backwards through the square, you're going to want to jump as soon as it crosses the back line of whatever square you just jumped past. You'll dodge it nearly every time. So just step on all the blue squares moving in this kind of up and down pattern across these things, and you'll find that I'm moving pretty consistently through these without getting hit too many times. If you use the strategy I've implemented for you guys, then this should be relatively simple. And if you're feeling risky, you can even jump a little bit early and glide over it. Once you've hit all the blue squares and turn them to green and the back door is open, walk down the middle line right here and jump whenever the panels are about to cross your position. Now this final boss fight isn't too hard, but it can be difficult to pick up what you have to do. First thing you want to do is charge down Two-Face and punch him until he leaps back onto the ledge. Once that's done, a wave of goons and or henchmen is going to rush your position. As you have in the past, just punch them until they collapse. Once Two-Face hops back down to the ground, punch him until he loses all of his health. And then after you see the Riddler's face pop up in the main enemy slot with the gray hearts, that's when you want to bust open almost all of these barred off areas, because this is where you're going to get most of your studs. If you haven't gotten Superhero up until this point, guess what? There are more than enough studs to get you up to your position unless you have 0 studs or something around that point. Now, I'm punching these chests that are inside these areas just so I can get the studs hidden behind them. You'll notice there's a counter, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, etc., etc. I'm going to leave one standing, and that's the one that's not in these cages, conveniently, because if I hit the 5th one, then there would be a mini-kit in the arena, and I do not want to risk getting knocked into that, because I am saving them all for the free play videos. Anyway, once you're satisfied with your stud count, bust open this red lock and then bust down these gold stacks right here, and then reassemble the pieces into a board to reflect the Riddler's shots. Reassemble these pieces into red locks for both of these containers, then bust both of those open, and rinse and repeat the previous process. After you do that, the Riddler's hearts will turn red, and that's when you can start to attack him. The basic method for taking him down is similar to that of Mr. Freeze, in that you keep alternating between characters to prevent one from taking too much damage so the other one can hit his weak spot. A wave of goons and or henchmen is going to rush you. This is again the easiest scenario with goons, which isn't good for a walkthrough perspective, but it will be easy for you guys if this happens to you. Riddler's going to hop down again after you deal with that wave, rinse and repeat the previous process. Punch with one character, switch to the other character, and keep switching as fast as you can to hit the weak point. This is probably worst case scenario in that it's almost all henchmen. Contrary to what you might think, deal with the goons first so that they don't pose a problem to you while you rush up into the henchmen's faces and stop them from firing their guns at you. Once that happens, you should be able to deal with these rather easily, and if you want to, you can even hide in one of these small alcoves and use your batterings on whatever you can. If your health gets this low and you have no way to replenish it, then just keep alternating between characters as fast as you can to punch these guys down. Other than that, it's the exact same strategy from before. Punch, switch, punch, switch, punch, switch, punch, switch, and keep doing that until all of his hearts are down. The level ends when the Riddler is taken out. Alright, and that is going to do it for this episode of the LEGO Batman the Video Game 100% walkthrough. So, I would like to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, and until then, this has been Gaming Magic 13, signing off saying I hope you have a fantastic horrible day, and I will catch you on next time, where we'll be starting up Power Craze Penguin. But for now, enjoy the epilogue for the Riddler's Revenge, and the credits for the Riddler's Revenge. Goodbye!
Huh.